afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until roughly 5 o'clock this afternoon. 513 717 5464. I almost said 749 1230. Just habits are just, and they come back. Your brain is an amazing piece of equipment there. 513-717-5464. 513-717-KING. That's the number to get on board. Sorry for being late. Had to go pick up the little baby who is no longer doing a whole lot of coughing. No longer a whole lot of coughing. Maybe a little bit. Not a whole lot. A little bit of sniffling. Little bit of sniffling. She's disobedient. Because I just keep telling her, stop being sick. And she just keep being sick. But yeah, now I have a cough and a slight headache. But, it is what it is. Sometimes the little kids give you whatever it is that they had. But I have royal antibodies, and my royal antibodies will fight off this stuff. Come on in. Let me say good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Robert Willis. Good afternoon. SOT Soldier. I don't know what SOT stands for. What does SOT stand for? Anthony, good afternoon. Seven, good afternoon. Daryl, good afternoon to you as well. LaDonna says she thought I was locked up. No, I'm on probation, not locked up. Where are you going?
Going to sit on the stairs.
Okay. I'm on probation, not locked up. Lady K, nice to see you. Nice that you're here, because I can't see you, but nice to see that you're here. Miss Pittsburgh, good afternoon. Andrea, good afternoon. Shirley, good afternoon, checking in from Westchester. She did it right. What's that, John? John, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Salutations to you. My OSHA. It is. I do. I need to shave. I don't do much of that whole shaving stuff because my skin, like even when I just use the clippers, my skin will still bump up. So I tend to kind of let it go until, it's about this length. And then I cut it down. For whatever reason, that helps me. But like if I took a razor to my face, all hell would break loose. I would be miserable literally for months. Hold on a second. Little baby, you are not on the stairs. You went up the stairs. All right, I better be able to hear you. But yeah, literally for months, I would be messed up. I still got one. You can't see it, but there's a hair under my skin right here. It's so uncomfortable, but I can't get it out. Eventually it'll come out, but I can't get it out. So yeah, for me, the whole shaving, cutting my face thing. But like I said, I was saying, if I took some clippers, cut it down today, and then the next day did the same thing, I would be in all kind of trouble for the next week or so. Just ingrown hairs everywhere, bumps all over the place. So it is time. But this is about when it's time. And I don't understand it. I figure if I'm cutting it above the skin at about the same level, it shouldn't matter. But it matters. But yeah, if I took a razor to my face, you're talking about months. Months. I would be messed up. But yeah, it's time for a shave. Sean, good afternoon. Got Vincent in the house. Vincent says, what's up, everyone? Checking in from Mason. Got a couple days off. You can't beat that. Janice says, good afternoon, everyone. Brent in the house, checking in from Dallas, Texas. Brenda from Fairfield. So we got Fairfield in the house. SOT stands for Sons of Thunder. Oh, that sounds menacing. I don't know. I don't even want to know what it means. Kenneth says, great day, people. One of these days I might want to know what it means. But right now, Breenie checking in from over there in Kentucky. Got Logic Slayer. Good afternoon. And Kathy. I don't like Katie. Kathy says put some lavender oil on it. Oh, okay. Myosha says, I'll take a razor to your face. I don't know what that means. Got Nat checking in from Madisonville. Got Diane checking in from where? Covington? No, I would not be putting no Come See lotion on my face. No, that's for the ladies. We got Terry. Terry says, don't use shaving cream. I've tried it all different kinds of ways. Shaving cream, oil. Now, I've never used lavender oil on my face afterwards. I might try that. You never know. I imagine it couldn't hurt, but I've tried it with oil. I've tried it with shaving cream. I've tried it with, I've done the Magic Shave thing before. Magic Shave works decently. Decently? Get some bump control cream. Okay. I appreciate the advice. I'll try just about anything, but we talking about like months. Like y'all think I'm playing. What is it? April? If I shaved today with a razor, probably about September, maybe about September, I would really just now be dealing with a few bumps left down here. A few bumps will be left down here. They'd probably be all gone, except for maybe one like really persistent one around Christmas. And I'm not exaggerating. That's why I don't do it. What was Lincoln talking about? Calling you a hater. I don't know. Lincoln he was saying, that's why I called him. And because he called me a hypocrite too. So I had to call in like, bro, what did I do? And he was like, nothing. That was just something to say. I don't know what he was talking about. I just tell the truth. I do tell the truth. And sometimes that does come off hateful. But the truth is just the truth. I'm not a hater. Cinnamon Fist, hello from Arizona. Well, all right out there in Arizona. We got, is it warm out there in Arizona? Is it warm out there in Arizona? Like, what's the temperature right now? Or what's the high temperature for the day? Arizona sounds like a good place to be. Jason, good afternoon. We got hello from AC T-shirt Factory. All right, AC in the house. Let me see. Brent says ingrown hairs are of the devil. Yes, they are. Samuel, good afternoon. Daryl talking about bump control cream. All right. Yes, that did sound like a threat, Myosha. I was gonna say that, but you know. Brent says use the green blue magic after you shave. I don't know about that. But again, I'll try just about anything. So maybe I'll try it. Shea butter, E-Man. I've done shea butter. Didn't really help. Y'all have to understand, I have a very strange hair texture and all of that stuff going on. So, you know I'll try a lot of stuff. But some stuff won't work for me where it'll work for other people. No, Daryl, I'm aware. I knew what you were talking about. I'm aware. Jason says, stop using a razor then. I have. I don't use a razor. That's what I said. I use trimmers now. And so I just cut it down low. But once it gets to about this level, I pull out some trimmers and I can cut it down. And it hit or miss. Lately, this is about the level that I've come to the conclusion that it needs to be. I cut it down and I don't get any bumps. If I do it sooner than this, I get bumps. Of course, I can wait till later, but yeah. Yeah, I might get one or two, and they're always down here. And if I do it like much sooner, it'll be all over the place. Here. It'd just be terrible. It'd just be terrible. Good afternoon, Crystal. She says good afternoon, and everyone. Lincoln loves to fuss with Facebook chat. He does. Samuel says, I go to a barber, and I never have issues. But you don't have my hair, my skin. Different people are different. Different people are different. And hi from Southern Massachusetts. All right. Karen, good afternoon from Westwood. Janice says, you don't always have to say everything you feel. I don't know what I said. Cinnamon says, today the temperature will be 91. Oh, that sounds so good. We'll hit around 102 Saturday and Sunday. That sounds so good. That's where I need to be. Greetings, Brandy. Greetings. Let's see. You know what? I did want to address something. Because I brought it up a few days ago, and somebody else brought it up to me. And somebody sent me a message about it as well. And so y'all remember, I want to say it was last week. It might have been before then. I was listening to the Lincoln Ware show, and a guy called in, and, he was really mad at me. And he's the father of a young lady who was murdered and her child. So he's the father of and grandfather of victims of violent crime. And he was really, really mad at me. And somebody was online and they were saying, yeah, what you said to that guy was insensitive and blah, blah, blah. And people, I don't know why, people love to paint me in an exceptionally negative light. And I'm like, look, you can paint me in a negative light. I'm comfortable with it. Just at least paint what I've actually done in a negative light. Like, Emanuel, you said this. And that, like Jerica yesterday, before she called me a plus-size man. I mentioned to Lincoln that he could admit that he likes big women. Because he does. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he won't admit it, I guess because he thinks there's something wrong with it. And the point I was making was, there's nothing wrong with liking big women. You can admit it. But then she was like, it sounds like you hating on big women. I'm like, if anything, I'm defending big women. Well, that's not the way I read it. Like, don't put your feelings into what I wrote. Don't put and a lot of people do that. So, but at least she was able to say, you said this, and I took it that way. As opposed to, some people are like, oh, you was mean to that. Well, what did I say? I don't want to bring it up. You don't want to bring it up because you don't know. You don't know or you don't remember. You could say that. People, if you don't know something, there's no shame in saying, I don't know that. If you don't remember something, there's no shame in saying, I don't remember that. None. So the person said, I said these horrible things and I was insensitive. And I was like, because I wanted him to say what I said. Because what I said was nothing. Nothing. And I thought about it. I said, let me tell the people what I said for things to get out of hand. And people be like, oh, he was so mean to that guy right after his family was murdered. Here's what was said. I'll give you a little bit of context. Joe Dieters had held a press conference about the case. They had, I believe, arrested the man who's accused of the crime. And Joe Dieters held a press conference. Well, there was a conversation going on about Joe Dieters' press conference and this crime. And I said, because a lot of people were saying about certain details of the crime, well, Joe Dieter said he did this, so it must be true. Well, Joe Dieter said he did that, so it must be true. Well, Joe Dieter said he's guilty, so he's got to be guilty. And that was just blowing my mind, like, Joe Dieter's? Like, really? Because like, they wasn't even saying the evidence says this. They were saying Joe Dieter said he's got to be guilty, or Joe Dieter said he's guilty, so he's got to be guilty. Joe Dieter said he did this, so he had to have done it. Joe Dieter said he said this, so he had to have said it. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? And here's what I said. I said, people, I don't have this evidence. And Joe Dieters might be telling the truth. But I'm disturbed with the fact that we're on here saying Joe Dieter said something, so it's got to be true. Just because Joe Dieter says something doesn't make it true. Now, maybe he does have evidence to back up what he's saying. But until I see evidence, I don't just accept that because Joe Dieter said something, it's got to be true. That man is a racist. That's my opinion. That man is a liar. I don't accept everything he says as 100% truth. That's all I said. That's it. That's all I said. And then somehow, I guess that got back to the father, and somehow that was me saying that this man didn't do what he did, and but that's not what I said. It's not what I said. So, look, people can say what they want to say about me and feel how they want to feel about me, and I'm comfortable with all of that. He called in later on and, all but cussed me out. And I let him. Multiple times. If anybody who used to listen to the show, y'all remember, I let him multiple times call in and let me have it. Because again, the way that I perceived it, like, he ain't mad at me. He mad about the situation. And there's nothing he can do about the situation. It's a horrible situation. He can't get the guy who did it. He can't, but he can attack me. And if that helps him, I was down with it. Like, go ahead, attack me, bro. Go ahead. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to tell you, whatever. I will tell you I didn't say whatever it is that you think I said. But I let him say whatever it was he wanted to say, and I let him go a few times. So, but again, there were a few people saying, oh, I remember what Emanuel said, and it was so mean, and he was so insensitive, and he was so this, and he said this, and he said that. And what did I say? Well, I don't even want to bring it up to open that wound no more. You're talking about it. So the wound is open, bro. Tell me, what did I say? But they couldn't tell me what I said, really, just because they didn't remember what I said. But I still stand by what I said. Just because Joe Dieter said something doesn't make it a fact. It doesn't. Show me actual evidence and stuff. But I can't take Joe Dieter's word for nothing. But it did. That's when I started calling him, I forget what I started calling him, Jesus Dieters or something like that, because I'm like, y'all just accepting Joe Dieter's word as gospel, and his word is not gospel. And I get if you want to believe the evidence and his conclusions based on the very limited information that you have. But I thought then, as I think now, it would be exceptionally dangerous to just start accepting prosecutors' word from a press conference as a statement of fact. I still hold to that. And I still feel bad for the man who lost his daughter and his grandchild. I still feel bad for that guy. But that was it. That was the whole thing that I said. That was it. Nothing else. I didn't know his daughter's name. I didn't mention his grandson, none of that kind of stuff, because I didn't have any details. But I was bothered by the idea that Dieters is Jesus. He cannot tell a lie. Come on, y'all. That was bothersome to me. But that was it. A few people have actually asked me about that. I'll be out at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. Somebody see me and, met a few people out. That guy was talking to him. What did you say? That's what I said. That's it. Jason said, you talking about the dude who had more heart talking mess to you than defending his own daughter. The kid's father did more than the dad. Well, look, in a situation like that, ain't a whole lot you can do, I don't look down on that guy because he didn't attack somebody in court or something like that. I don't look down on him for that. I don't. Not at all. Is this the case where that devil threw the baby in the Ohio River and murdered the child's mother in his apartment? This is the case where that is the accusation. Yes. Zakiya said, I wouldn't trust Joe Dieters as far as I can spit. Me either. Lady K says, I thought the body of the child was never found. I hadn't read where it has been. Ben says, but you will believe what's said if it's something being said about someone you don't take a liking to. I don't understand. Give me an example. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yes, LaDonna. Yes, that is that case where they allege that the boy got thrown in the river. I'm not sure that they know. Yeah, agree. They should have led with the evidence shows that he's guilty because they had video evidence of that clown moving the mother's body from his apartment in a sleeping bag. And I mean, that's what they say. That is what they say. Ben says, I think you didn't want to believe what was said because it was Joe Dieters saying it. No. I'm not even saying that I disbelieve him. And nuance is hard for some people. So I'm not even saying that in this case, I don't believe Joe Dieters. But I'm saying in any case, even if I believe, because believe is different than know. And when you start stating things as fact because somebody told you and you believe them, there are certain people who, I try to not do that anyway. Like I try to say, so-and-so said, or I believe that, or this person reported that, or whatever. I try to not say things that I don't know to be factual as factual unless I have some reason to really believe it to be factual myself. But even if I believe Joe Dieters and everything he said, I don't believe it because Joe Dieters said it. And that was the part that bothered me. Again, I know it's difficult. So how can you say don't believe Joe Dieters if you believe Joe Dieters? I'm not saying don't believe Joe Dieters. I'm saying don't take what Joe Dieters says as fact because it was Joe Dieters who said it. And even that can be just because Joe Dieters said it doesn't make it a fact. That's what I'm saying. I tend to believe him in this case, but I still can't just accept that what he said is a fact. Because just because I believe something doesn't make it a fact. If that makes any sense, I hope that makes sense. Or at least, Ben, I hope you can, because most people understood what I was saying at the beginning. But some people, the way I talk is kind of disjointed and it can confuse some people. So I hope you understand what I'm saying now. If he got energy to verbally attack you, he got the energy to lay hands. I don't know if that'd necessarily be the best for the whole situation. I don't know that that'd be the best thing for him to do for the situation. But he wasn't going to get in no legal trouble calling me, verbally attacking me. And I wasn't going to let it escalate to anything other than that. So he was safe. He was safe. I wish, hope, and pray for peace for that man. I don't know what you're talking about, Kenneth. If Joe Dieter told me my name was Myosha Thomas, I'd call my mama for verification. That's how much I believe Joe Dieter's. Exactly. Ben says, anything Democrats say about Republicans. Oh, you still on that. Bro, you're not gonna shame me into being a Republican, and you're not gonna reverse psychology me into believing in Republicans. You could give that one up. But who am I to tell you how to spend your energy? Who am I to tell you how to spend your energy? Janice says, on behalf of the grieving grandfather, he wanted to believe what Dieter said. To him, it seemed that you were trying to minimize his hopes that the man was guilty. You both were seeing things from two different vantage points. No, not necessarily. And again, I'm not mad at the man. I'm not mad at him. He can feel whatever he want to feel and think whatever he want to think about me. All I was saying was, just because one of the things that he said when he called me was, well, I've seen the evidence. Well, clearly wasn't talking about him, because if you've seen the evidence, you not just taking Joe Dieter's word for it, you actually saw evidence. That's different than what I was talking about. All of the people who saw no evidence and was literally saying, well, Joe Dieter said he did it, so he must have did it. But I understand his perspective. I'm not mad at that man. I'm not mad at him. Daryl says, see, here we go again. They showed the security camera footage on the news, E-Man. It's not allegedly at this point. It is still allegedly. I'm not trying to litigate this case. But here is the mindset that I want y'all to get in. They can show me carrying a bag and putting it in the garbage. How you know what's in the bag? Well, they said that you had a guitar in the bag. You don't know what's in the bag. Well, they showed it on TV. You was carrying a bag and you put it in the garbage. So, man, you threw away that perfectly good guitar. You don't know what was in the bag. Just because they showed you me carrying a bag doesn't mean what they said was in the bag is what was in the bag. It may have been, but it is still allegedly until you know what was in the bag. Do that make sense? So just because they showed security camera footage of him carrying something that looked like what we believe it to be, because I also believe it, it's still allegedly because it's not proven yet. Some of y'all should never be jurors. Let's see. They have proved the accusations you said Joe Dieter said, and you still don't believe it. This is what happens sometimes. People, I know some of y'all are like, why are you addressing this? I'm actually this is a part of my seminar. I'm trying to teach people how to think critically. A lot of y'all understand it. Some of y'all don't. Ben clearly doesn't. Ben, they have not proved any of the accusations. Unless, maybe has he been found guilty yet? Has he been found guilty yet? I don't know him to have been found guilty yet. Maybe they have. I didn't really follow it. But last time when I heard the guy speaking, Lincoln was asking him about the trial, as if to say the trial wasn't over, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. And this is a big point. I actually said that I believe it. You might have missed that. While looking for holes, you missed the big picture. I clearly said, in this case, I actually do believe Joe Dieters. But just because I believe him doesn't mean that what he said is a fact. It just means that I believe him. There's a difference. So you said, they proved the accusations. You said Joe Dieter said, and you still don't believe it. I believed it then. So you're clearly being biased because Joe Dieter said it. Well, I am clearly biased because Joe Dieter said it because I believe him to be a racist. So I believe he'll say all manner of negative things about black people without any proof. But I did actually believe him. And even then, that still didn't make it a fact. This is a part of what critical thinking is. Being able to understand the difference between I believe his story and I know his story to be fact. I can believe it with all my heart, but there's a difference between believing it and knowing it to be fact. Quintano says, did you check the did you check the link I sent you? Somebody else said something about documentation. When did you send me a link? And if you sent it while I've been on air, then no, I did not check it. Ben says, so as of today, why don't you believe what Joe Dieter said? Y'all be wondering, why do I repeat myself? Y'all wonder, why do I repeat myself? I'll say it again. And again, this is, come on, critical thinking here. Like just being able to look at things. This ain't even critical thinking. This is actually just being able to listen and kind of comprehend. I actually said I believed what Joe Dieter said. I believed it then. That still didn't make it a fact. I'm teaching y'all. Didn't somebody try to attack the killer? I'm not sure. I think maybe the father of the child did, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Peace and love, Emanuel. You know you're funny. I don't know. I didn't say anything funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to, what y'all would say, you splitting hairs. It's not splitting hairs. This is just thinking. This is just thinking. Like, this should be the normal thought process. Janice says, you've definitely seen things from two emotional directions. All I was saying was, can't accept him as a fact. Daryl says, it was a body, E-Man. I don't know that. I believe it. but I don't know it. Ben says, I'm not gonna lie, you defending this killer at the sake of proving a point. That's sad. I don't think any halfway reasonable person listening to this right now would say, Emmanuel's on there defending that guy who he believes killed that woman and that child. No halfway reasonable person would say that. Not even halfway reasonable. And to tie the fact that I don't accept Joe Dieter's words as fact, as a defense of anything, except that I don't take Joe Dieter's words as fact, is dim-witted at best. Shahara says she thinks he's found guilty. Sentencing was left. Okay. Shahara says she thinks that the father called in and said he was guilty. Yes. Sierra says clear and convincing is different from actual and factual. Exactly. But people don't, their brains don't work that way. Quintano says the link he sent me was earlier today. It was a Cincinnati firefighter story about the county trying to take his newborn. I did not see that. Big Ben twist him up at his own game. I don't know what that means. That generation is slow. It might be a little bit of truth to that. At the very least, Ben seems to be slow. But no, that was it. That was the whole thing with that. And, people kept asking. So I figured I would come on and share that. That was the deal with that. It was something else that people were asking me about. What did you say? What did you do? But I can't remember what it was they were asking me about to address it. I can't remember what it was they were asking me about to address it. So now let's get to some other stuff. And again, I'm coughing. The little baby, I've been picking the little baby up. And so the little baby had a little cold or whatever. And she gave it to me. Because here's what you have to understand about the little baby. She be like trying to play, like right now she upstairs, she doing something that she probably got no business doing, that I'll get in trouble for allowing her to do. But she ain't gonna hurt nobody. She gonna make a little mess somewhere. There's gonna be slime somewhere. I'm gonna have to clean it up. Ain't no biggie. But what happens though, when we go upstairs and we'll sit on the couch and we're watching, some nonsense that she want to watch. She sits right here. And sometimes I had to ask her, like, can I have my arm? Because I can't move because she's right there on me. Right there on me. Like, she always got to be right up under me. And she was coughing. And, it got all up all on me. So I got a little cold. Daggone child. Okay, hold on. There is a story. But I need to Google the story. I think that's it. Okay, hold on. All right. There's this little story. I'm not going to play this whole piece. Let's see if I can make this thing work right. And see if I can get sound.
Okay, so today I got pulled into a check-in meeting with my administrator at school, and she had this lovely list of concerns that she wanted to bring to my attention. But my favorite amongst them is We've noticed an intentional attempt at teaching your students about their legal and constitutional rights. That's the concern. They're concerned. Why are you concerned? Why is that a concern? Why is it a concern? Why?
All right, that's enough of that. She's a bit annoying. But I'm kind of with her on that. Why is it a concern teaching students? And I think I read these were third grade students. Why is it a concern teaching young children their legal and constitutional rights? Why is that a concern? Why? See, y'all know, y'all keep thinking that I'm just saying stuff to be saying stuff. We have some serious parts of people in our society, some people in our society, have some serious contempt for young people. I'm always one who believes we should educate young people, yes, even about their rights. Even about their rights. What could be, like, for real, what is somebody help me, what is the legit concern about teaching children their rights? What's the legitimate concern there? The legitimate concern. Like to know that if somebody is grilling you about something, you got a right to say nothing. You have a right to remain silent. Who could be against that? Even for a third grader, for a fifth grader. Who could be against them knowing that they have that right? Brent says you got to keep the children intellectually deficient. Lady K, she says, I've already had the conversation with my two grands to say, call my mom. Call my mom. Samuel says, we learned about our rights in civics and world history. But what if you had a teacher in the third grade who found a way, while she was doing whatever it is that she's doing, to teach you your rights? You know, it don't take that long to teach somebody. You can be quiet if you want to. You don't have to talk. How dare you teach a child that they don't have to talk? What is wrong with you? Hold on, let me see. Ben says, if teachers are allowed to teach outside the lines of the curriculum, when do you draw the line? Look, I'll tell you the truth. I learned a lot of lessons in math class that didn't have anything to do with math. Even just through the examples, through the word problems. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot of things that got nothing to do with the subject. So if the idea is, if you teach in math, you're only allowed to teach 2 + 2 is 4. I don't know that I like that. I don't know that I agree with that. And it's not like I'm teaching my opinions. I'm trying to indoctrinate. These are your rights. They're not my opinions. She showed the thing. The thing said, I can't quote it verbatim, but basically they're concerned that she's teaching children their rights, including their constitutional rights. And apparently the children are learning it, otherwise they wouldn't be concerned about it. Samuel says, that's dope. I'm all for it. Me too. Lewis says, you can see what he said. I, maybe somebody can't see. Somebody just listening in earbuds or something. Lewis says, American children, we're born with ceiling fans, not air conditioning. I don't know that to be factual. I don't know that to be factual. And even if it is, what that got to do with anything? I don't understand the point that you're trying to make by saying that. Help me understand. I'm the slow one now. Help me understand the point that you were trying to make by making that statement. I think this is an alley-oop to the LGBTQ teachings, which I do believe this person is an LGBTQ person. But if you're not teaching LGBTQ stuff, they're concerned that she's teaching them their rights. Like, they're not concerned that she's indoctrinating them or trying to, share her views with them. They're concerned that she's trying to teach children their constitutional rights. I don't understand who could be against that. I really don't. Like Trump said, he loves the illiterate. I don't know that he actually said that. I've seen that quote a lot of times, but I've never actually seen him say it. So I don't know that to be true, even though I believe that that's the case. LaDonna says, I would want my grandkids to know. Yeah. CK call in. And I can see the phone, so if you call in, CK, then I got you. That goofy parent is probably one of those white parents who is a proponent on banned books and CRT. Lady K says, people doing foul stuff is the ones who will have an issue with it. Ben says, don't teach anything outside of what you're supposed to be teaching. Again, I disagree with that. I vehemently disagree with that. Vehemently disagree with that. Sometimes things overlap. And the social studies teacher might end up helping the math teacher out. The math teacher might end up helping the biology teacher out. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And just, these are the only words that you're allowed to say in this particular sequence. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. You got some honey buns. Well, congratulations. Trump said black people built the world. Okay, I hadn't seen that. Okay. I'm not sure that that's what they're like, but okay. I promise I don't. CK, I promise I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't want to make fun of you or anything like that, but I have no idea what you're talking about. How does that relate to literally anything? I mean, I know what ceiling fans are. I'm aware of the technology. Janice says, art and music teachers also teach history and math. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on. There was something else that I saw. Oh, hold on. Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon got fired, and everybody kind of lost their minds about that. Here's my take on it. My take is super quick. They're both multimillionaires. They both gonna be all right. CNN will replace Don Lemon probably with some other annoying person. Don Lemon was annoying to me. I didn't take him serious as a journalist or even really as a personality. He was annoying. So him being gone don't hurt my feelings. Now, I didn't wish for him to be gone. I didn't wish for him to be gone because I never, I try to never be one of those persons who wish bad on other people. But I don't really care about him being gone. Tucker Carlson, again, multimillionaire. Tucker Carlson is going to be all right. Hold on. Let me put the phone back up there. Tucker Carlson is going to be all right. Fox News will get somebody else in there to lie to the American people and to anyone else who watched, to fan the flames of hatred, spread misinformation. They'll find somebody else in there to do what Tucker Carlson was doing. And because there is a huge market for that, they'll be wildly successful. Everybody, what was his name? Bill O'Reilly. What changed when Bill O'Reilly left? They replaced him. I don't know if they put Tucker Carlson in his place, but he filled that kind of racist misinformation vacuum. You still got Sean Hannity. They're just that whole lineup of people. They are still a lying machine. They're a lying deception machine, and they're gonna be. And I got a feeling Tucker Carlson is gonna turn up somewhere else making a whole lot of money. Newsmax or OAN, Newsmax or OAN will love to bring him on to lie to their audience. So he gon' be all right. And they not gonna miss a beat. So I know, some people were kind of excited about it. Like, yeah, he's finally gone. It means virtually nothing. It means virtually nothing because they'll find somebody else. And like I said, the Don Lemon thing, I'm all right with Don Lemon being gone. He annoyed me. He was annoying. I didn't like a lot of his views on things. And I mean, just like you watching me now. And some of y'all like, this dude get on my nerves. I ain't did nothing. But you're like, this dude get on my nerves. That was Don Lemon for me. Some of it was just, style things. I didn't like, not style like fashion, but the way that he did the things that he did, the way that he talked, the way that he questioned guests and all that kind of stuff. Some of it was that, and that's all personal taste. So I don't feel bad that either of those guys are gone. Not at all. Nikki says, throw the whole Fox News channel away. Look, there's a huge market for it. There is a huge, huge market for that. People want their views to be reinforced. They do. There are certain things that I just don't watch or have a hard time watching because I don't, unless it's fact-based. Like if you give me fact-based stuff that I don't like the conclusions, but at least, you know what I'm saying, you're telling me facts and your conclusions are reasonable. I can kind of stomach it. When you are not giving me facts, and then you're coming with these wild, insane conclusions, I can't take that. I can't take it. So, yeah. Samuel says Don was on the clock when he was removed from the primetime slot. And I don't understand. He had to know that. I mean, I know he said it wasn't the case and he was trying to play it's a lateral move. That's not a lateral move. That's not a lateral move. We're moving you from your primetime nighttime slot to the morning show. You're no longer a solo guy in a primetime spot. You're a part of an ensemble on a failing show. That's clearly not lateral. But a part of me believes that he thought it was lateral. Like he got spun. Like, we just need you to come in and make this great. And he was like, yeah, that's what they need. And I'm with you, Samuel. Like, when it happened, I was like, how long he gonna be there? Because there was no way that move was gonna boost ratings. Nobody. Well, I can't say nobody. Very few people were gonna be like, you know what? I got to turn on CNN in the morning and see what Don Lemon got to say about this. Nobody. Maybe somebody. But not me or anybody that I know. When is Fox News going to put an Armstrong Williams or Candace Owens type in that prime time? I don't know that they will. They might put that big-eyed girl, the big-eyed black lady there. I don't know her name. But I don't think that she gonna get a primetime slot. Link probably feels the same about you. A lot of people feel that way about me. And I'm okay with that. Look, people, you have to be okay with people not liking you. For no reason. For no reason. I think just about everybody has somebody who gets on their nerves or who they just don't like, but they ain't even really got no reason why. Like, I don't like it. Why? It's just his energy. Has he ever said anything wrong? No. Has he ever done anything wrong? No. No. But you don't like him. It's something about him. I just don't. So I'm comfortable with the idea that there are people out there who watch and or listen to me who are like, I just don't like him. Why? I just don't. And a lot of times they feel pressed to come up with something because the stuff he said about that father. Like, what did he say? I don't know, but whatever it was, I know it was bad. I don't like him. Like, no, just say you don't like me. I'm comfortable with that. Because there are people who I just don't like. And there's no reason why. They haven't done anything. I can see somebody and be like, oh, it's something about him. Just, oh, no, it's something about her that I just, Hey, you want to meet? No, I'm cool. Don't bring him over here. I don't want to meet him. He's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. He might be. Something about him. I just don't like him. You know him? No, never met him. I can look it across the room. I don't like that dude. I've actually done that before. Looking across the room, I can tell I don't like that dude. Something about him. So, yeah, that could be the case with me. I'm all right with that. I can only tolerate Harris Faulkner. That's her name, the big-eyed black lady on Fox. I think that's her name. He was pre-fired. They had to warm him up to the idea. They had to warm him up to the idea of being fired. You just got back from the automated teller machine. Oh, Harris Faulkner, that's her name. No, not Laura Coates. This is the black woman, and she got them big eyes. She creeps me out. And she might be the nicest lady in the world. But she's palling around with racists, spreading misinformation. I can't get with her. Quick question. Could you date a woman or ladies? Could you date a man who physically You know, they could, but just they're like, could you date a Trump voter if you don't support Trump? Could you date a Trump voter? Could you date a Fox News watcher? Somebody who watches that and believes it or enjoys it? Could you do that? Why do you keep holding up the church finger when you cough? Oh, I'm saying, hold on a minute. I'm not just no. A lot of times I'm not in a position to say hold on a minute because I can't say it because the cough is about to come. So I'm letting y'all know, hold on a minute. Let me get this cough out. So that's why I'm holding up the finger when it happens. Saying, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Not that Link don't like you. You're just annoying as hell. I believe Lincoln believes I'm annoying because I tell the truth. And a lot of his career is built on the magic of radio. I be pulling back the curtain, telling the honest to goodness truth about stuff. Let me see. Scroll. Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all the chat overlay. Broker Ring says, I did, and he regrets voting for him now. You dated a Trump voter? How? See, I'm, in all honesty, and this, I could be wrong about this. But I believe if you voted for Trump, you're probably not a good person. Like, you have some super serious character flaws that lean to the criminal side, to the hateful side, to the perverted side. I couldn't do it. Genesis, absolutely not. Beliefs dictate your actions. Anthony says, depends on how good her pie is. Something wrong with you. Lady K says, the dating pool is trash. These dingas don't vote nor take care of their kids. That's a whole different story. I'm talking about they do vote. They have serious political beliefs. And they voted for Trump. They watch Fox News. And they plan on voting for him, like, again. Like, I'm gonna, hold on a second. Little baby? What you doing? You doing something? Yes. Okay, come down here. I need to look at you. Yeah, okay, come down the stairs. I need to look at you. No, look at you. Come on. You moving slow. She's coming. I gotta make sure ain't nothing. Come on. Well, come on.
I'm down here.
I can't see you. Come over here where I can see you.
I'm down here.
I know you down here, but I can't see you. You behind all of that stuff. Come over here where I can see you.
Down here.
I said I know you down here. Come on. I need to see you.
I'm down here.
Turn around. What were you doing up there?
Watching the phone.
No, the only one. Let me see your hands. Let's see if your hands is green. Were you up there playing with the kinetic sand?
No.
You were doing something.
I want to play with the kinetic sand.
All right, you can go back.
Can I play with the kinetic sand?
I don't even know if you could get to it.
I think I can.
Well, go see if you could get to it, and let me know. Let me go to the phone. CK?
Praise the Lord.
Word.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, and you?
Oh man, I'm watching your good ass show. That shit good as hell today, ain't it? Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Absolutely.
You talking about that good stuff. You talking about your controversial statement saying that if you voted for Trump, you said you have to be it's some very bad. You're a very bad person if you voted for Trump, like evil.
The word evil did not come out of my mouth. I don't even know where you got that. But I do believe if you voted for Trump, a part of me, Bill, I believe that, yeah, you're not necessarily a good person.
Yeah, and if you voted for Biden, you could be a evil piece of shit too. It don't who you vote for don't have nothing to do with who you are.
I think it does.
That's ridiculous. No,
I think it does.
Yeah. Now, if you said, well, could you date somebody that gave their child up for adoption? You know, something they did, not who they voted for.
Yes, who they voted for.
There's very good people and good and bad on both sides.
All right, Donald Trump.
No.
That's the same thing he said. When he was talking about the racists, when they attacked the people, what was it, Charlottesville? They came in and they ran the one lady over and killed her. And he said, hey, there was good people on both sides.
No, I'm just trying to tell you about don't be so invested in who somebody votes for, because I'm saying you could be a piece of shit if you voted for Trump.
You could
be a piece of shit if you voted for Biden.
But I think that's
not the character.
But I think you are much more likely to be a piece of S, because I don't be cussing, I don't cuss. More likely to be a piece of S if you voted for Trump than if you voted for Biden or anybody else. But
what about if you manipulate it and you're gullible? What about, some people just gullible and they just ride with it,
Okay, I'll give you that. I don't know that I want to date somebody that's that manipulatable and gullible.
Fascinating. I'm thinking, look, it's a numerous. I'm just saying, I know good people that voted for Trump.
Who?
I didn't agree with them.
Who?
But they just, like, family members and stuff like that.
Did they know about Trump?
They know everything. They just so.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask. Because you might have something. Did they know that he don't like black people?
Yeah. I think I have talked to people that voted for him that's down with racists.
Okay, did they know that he said that he would date his daughter?
No, I'm not sure about that part. That's a little icky.
Did they know? Did they know that he admits to grabbing women by their vagina?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They not. Yeah, I think everybody knows about that. That was a huge news story. But I'm saying these people, when you talk to them, they just be stuck on one thing. They just be like, well, he's for the business. He's for the people that's for money. They don't be stuck on the stuff on the neck. They gonna sell you like selling you a car. They like, look, he's for business entrepreneurs. That's what one of my family members said. He's for. He's for the business. He giving out money and stuff like that. But that I don't be looking at them because they telling me they vote for Trump like you a piece of trash. I'm just thinking, damn, they just voting for Trump. I'm not. You're too invested, Emanuel, in who people vote for. That's like somebody judging you for who you vote for. You know what I mean? Did you know?
I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with people judging me based on who I voted for.
Right, and you voted for a guy that was accused of sexual assault.
But
Joe Biden.
He was, but he didn't basically admit to it. At least there's some doubt there.
Mm-hmm.
He said he did it.
Right. But I just when I talk to the people, because like you said, I think that's what helped me be able to talk to the other side, because I don't judge them. I don't look at them like, oh, they ain't nothing. They garbage. You know, I remember I always tell you I respect anybody's opinion. So I'm not gonna be like, well, you got to vote for the guy I vote for, or there's something wrong with you. No, I just think Biden is a better choice for me. But you might think Trump is a better choice.
But see, here is why I think it plays in, and I'm gonna go a little off script. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the exact same thing, so it's gonna be different. All right, but it's the principle of the thing that I'm talking about, not the actual example. If you tell me some of your best friends are in the KKK and you hang with them and you support them, I'm going to think you got some racist tendencies. Is that?
I would too.
So that's reasonable, right?
Yes.
So why is it that if you tell me I voted for the guy who didn't want to rent to black people and said he did not want a black person managing his money, why would I not think that you have some racist tendencies?
Right. I think some black people have gotten to the point where it don't matter if like we so immune to like races don't really bother them because we was born in a racist society. So if that's it, it's like the way I came to this conclusion, because I talked to a lot of people,
all right,
white people, right? And I asked them, I say, so who was the greatest president of all time in your lifetime? and a lot of them say Ronald Reagan, right?
Okay.
And the first thing I tell them is Ronald Reagan, you know, he was the crack dealer. He the biggest crack dealer, and his wife did say no to drugs. So I'm educating them at that point. They don't even look at them like that. They like, what? I say, you don't remember Iran-Contra? So I'm just thinking they not bad people. They just have beliefs. Like they grew up in a family that was like Republicans.
Okay.
And it's just
believe
a
it or
side
not,
you pick. It's like
CK.
Red or blue.
But CK, that I respect. See, that I kind of respect. But there's a difference between Ronald Reagan and Trump in this sense. You're saying these people, you are educating them about the things that Ronald Reagan did. On the other hand, you said they know all of the stuff that Trump did. They know what he stands for. If you know what he did and you know what he stands for and you still say, I want him as my leader, you kind of believe and stand for that same stuff.
I mean, because, okay, the only reason, remember I told you, once Trump put that article out about the Central Park 5, the front page article, I say, I know what he is. So like you said, he just hates black people to do something like that, right? So now everything he does, I don't even really pay attention to. But I think the love is the same way on the other side. They look at one thing he did that they like, and they throw everything else away. So I look at one thing he did that I didn't like, and I don't really pay attention to the other. I'll be like, well, he's just a piece of trash, because I know what the guy's about. And all the other stuff is just, you know, solidifying my belief. But I think all the other people just believe, like you said, it's a team, whatever team we on. And I think that's what hurts us, because I think it be about to get personal with this, who you voting for. And they'll tell me, like, man, that's because the people I talked to, it was young black people with businesses, and they was voting for Trump. They like, man, see, that's why I wish we would have got Trump back then. I'd be like, all right, tell me more, educate me. This is interesting. But I know them as a person. They not bad people. They great fathers, you know, family men, husbands. They not like, oh, they evil just because they voting. Now, I got to judge you on your actions. What do you do as a person? If you doing everything you do, I'm not going to judge you on who you voted for. It's what you do. You're a great father, great husband. You take care of your grandbaby. That's what you're going to get as a person. I can't say, well, shit, Emanuel voted for Trump. He ain't nothing. No, it's about who are you as a person. Your voting has nothing to do with who you are.
And
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
And if you ask me, that's who you vote for speaks to who you are as a person.
But what about all the great things? You can't just throw out all the great things. You're not cheating on your wife. You're taking care of your kids.
He is cheating on his wife.
Got a scholarship. Got a scholarship to college.
He did cheat on his wife.
Uh-huh.
He did cheat on his wife. with a porn star, and he paid her to be
No,
quiet.
I'm talking about you. Now I'm talking about the person that voted. And forget what he did. I'm
See,
talking about you.
See, I don't know that I agree with that. I think if you go vote for the person who you know cheated on his wife with a porn star and paid her, there's a good chance that you might cheat on your wife or husband or whatever, because it says to me, I'm comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but the only thing I'm saying, okay, I'll give you an example. Mike Tyson, he supports Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why he supports Trump, because Trump was one of the few people that supported him when he was in prison. And before he went to prison, he put a lot of money in his pocket. Herschel Walker, I understand why they support him. I don't think that you could judge them as a person based on who they voting for.
Of course you
That's
can.
all I'm saying. I'm saying but I'm saying
I
you
think
can't throw out everything you do good in life based on their vote.
But CK, I think we know that we can judge them because we know, or at least I feel like I believe that they both have some mental issues. They both have some mental issues. So, like, for lack of they're not necessarily thinking straight all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of like, they got some mental issues, and maybe they didn't process everything the way everybody else would process everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about when you couldn't pay your rent and all these, everybody you ask, they ain't got a dime for you, but then you about to be homeless and this Trump supporter pay your rent. Now you gonna say, now what makes him a bad person? Oh, he paid my rent, but he a bad person because he voted for Trump. No, what about what he did for your ass when you was broke and about to go out in the streets in the cold?
Did a Trump supporter pay your rent?
No, I'm giving you that example. I'm saying, what about
you just made that up though out of nowhere?
Doing?
Like, if that happens, then if you about to be put out your house, CK, and a Trump supporter pays your rent, then that gives you a different light to look at them in. But until that happens, they still a Trump supporter.
So you think a Trump supporter is out here raping and killing and just evil? What are you saying when you saying?
Yes.
So you saying that all these people are just wicked people?
I'm not necessarily saying that they're all wicked in the most extreme sense, but I think, again, it speaks to me to the fact that you can say that look, I can overlook a thing or two, right? So, say, Donald Trump had not paid his taxes in a while and cheated on his wife. Then maybe, you're like, okay. But when you add up everything, he ain't paying his taxes. He cheating on his wife. He paying porn stars to have affairs with him, when his wife is either pregnant or just had her baby. He's a racist. He's a sexist. The man want to sleep with his daughter. He want to have sex with his own daughter. When you add all of that stuff together, you gotta be able to come up with, he's a liar. You gotta be able to come up with something to be like, come on, like, he the whole package, the whole negative package, all wrapped in one. I can forgive a couple, 2 or 3 over here, 2 or 3 over there, 2 or 3 over there. He is all of it wrapped into one, shaken together.
Right. My main thing is, I'm just thinking that some people just vote. Like me personally, when I look at you, if you a person that vote for George Bush and George Bush Jr. is the same person that vote for Trump, just like Ronald Reagan. I just look at it through color lines, red and blue. So it don't matter what the red does, they're gonna always go with the Republican. So I'm just saying, I don't think all of them are like wicked people. I think, some of them are just manipulated. They just rolling with the team. Like, okay, whoever y'all put up there, we going with it.
And CK, I agree with you. They're not all wicked people. They just all are okay with wickedness.
Right. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would you date, or do you think, say you run into a Satan worshiper, would you date a Satan worshiper?
Woo! You got me there now. I can't. Oh, yeah, because I have wandered across the Satan worship, but that's scary. It's scary not even to be a Satan worship, just to be an atheist is scary to me.
So,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
What if they pay your rent?
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah, you're right. You would have to show me. I see what you're saying, because you would have to show me that you are a good person. If you're telling me you're a Satan worshiper, then I'm thinking, okay, you are evil. But when you were voting Republican, sometimes I'll be thinking it's like, and you like with the elite, you trying to be the elitist. Like, okay, I'm in this tax bracket. These Republicans give me breaks on my taxes, and I think that's how far it goes. Sometimes it's all about the taxes. Sometimes, so that's why I don't say they are bad people. Because I mean, all of them. Some of them are bad people.
Same with the Satan worshipers. You can't say they all bad people. They just worship Satan. I mean, they might be really nice.
Yeah,
got their kids and their grandkids, raising their family, going about their business, paying their taxes.
Yep. And another reason I challenge you on this, because I think what you're doing is you're making it like when you vote for Biden, some of them is just as evil and wicked as the people that didn't vote for Trump, that voted for Trump.
I agree.
They just as evil.
I agree.
And that's where I'm like, how can you, if it could be just as wicked for a Biden supporter, how can you say that the Trump supporter is wicked when they wicked on both sides?
Look, I don't disagree with that, because look, you could say, the Satan worshipers, they're evil. But some of them Christians is evil too. So how do you weed them out? Well, you automatically jump to the conclusion, okay, you support the devil and all of his evil works. You're probably not a good person. Now, I'm sure some of y'all over here are evil people as well, but at least y'all not like openly outward about it. Like, yeah, I'm evil. You know what I'm saying? I support the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't mean that these people ain't. But there's a very high probability that the people who support the evil are probably not the best people.
Yeah, I respect it, and I wanted to catch you on this Don Lemon situation.
Okay.
Man, the Jussie Smollett of newscasters. Like you said, this guy was like you said, you could just look at him and listen to him and you see, oh, this dude's a fraud. He was not a good representation of the LGBT community, because he would show his arrogance on TV. He would show, and that's what got him in trouble. He talking about the woman wasn't in her prime. He is very he just came across as a friend. Like you said, you could look at him and say, oh, he's not righteous.
Well, I didn't have a problem with him saying that Nikki Haley wasn't in her prime. I mean, that's true. And you say what you want to say. Joe Biden is not in his prime. Donald Trump is not in his prime. Like, once you get to a certain age, you are no longer in your prime. And Nikki Haley is no longer in her prime. Like, women went crazy about that, but
right.
That's just that part was just true. So I don't have beef with him about that. I just didn't care for the guy. And I didn't agree with a lot of his views, but that's okay. I don't agree with a lot of their views, but I just didn't care for the guy. He didn't come off as smart to me or intelligent or, able to think and process and analyze and all of that kind of stuff. He didn't come off as any of that kind of stuff to me. He didn't come off as a good journalist to me. So it was hard for me to watch his show.
Do you consider in your prime subjective?
Yes.
And that's where they got him at. It's like he's not allowed. You can't respect his opinion. If you don't agree with that, now let's fire him. See, he don't have the right to speak his opinion, even though he thought he had the right. See, that's what you got to tell. You don't have the right to speak how you want to speak, because these people will get you up out of here. And why did Tucker get fired? What happened to Tucker?
I don't know. He got fired.
Oh, they just fired him for no reason?
I'm sure they had a reason, but they haven't necessarily. There's been a lot of things floated as why he may have gotten fired. Some people are saying, that producer who's suing the station, that maybe some of that stuff was a Tucker thing. Some people are saying some of the texts and things that were released during the discovery for the Dominion lawsuit, that might have been the reason. But I don't know.
Yeah, and just for all the people that's disagreeing with me in the comments, I see it. Just understand, just because you voted for Biden, that don't mean shit. You still ain't shit. Is you taking care of your kids? Is you taking care of your family? That's what people judge you by. Forget who you vote for. That's minor.
So
that's just something you want. What you want, a cookie?
So you wouldn't have a problem dating a Trump supporter or a devil worshiper or whatever. Just show me who you are. That's all you care about.
Yeah. You based on your actions, not who you vote for. You your actions, but right. I guess voting is an action. So,
all right,
I mean, you made some good points, though. You did make some good points.
You did too, CK. You made some great points. I still don't know what the hell you was talking about with the ceiling fan, but you made some great points. Hey, I appreciate your call, sir.
Hey, much love, yes, sir.
That's CK. CK. Yeah, I still don't know the ceiling fan thing. He made some good points. Sierra says prime for the presidency is 45 and up per the Constitution. I don't know that 45 and up is prime for the presidency. And that's not necessarily prime. That's just when you kind of qualify. When you qualify, that don't necessarily mean you're in your prime. Like, I don't know that anybody could make the argument that Joe Biden is in his prime. Somebody could make the argument, but I don't know anybody that would be like, you're right. I'll be looking at him and he in his prime. He not. Let me see. Brenda, if you call, you get time to say what you want to say too. Just like I don't want to say I challenge people, but just like I have a conversation with CK, we don't agree, and I might ask him to explain some stuff, and if he say something that don't make sense to me, I'll say, I don't understand that, or that doesn't make sense. Same with you. You can call in. I treat everybody the same. Key, Fame, Anthony, Jason, Blade, Quinn, Wyatt, CK. I'm really just looking at the list of callers. Brent, Twin, Kelly Prather, Ron D, Tina Shelley, Marquetta. If you call in, you get the same treatment. I want to say what I got banned from Facebook for saying to you. If you call in, I talk to you. I want to understand where you're coming from. And I want you to, we don't have to agree when it's all done, but I want to understand where you're coming from. And I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying this to you, Brenda. I'm not saying this. I want to say, stop crying like a little biatch. But I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It's what I want to say. But I would never say that. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. That's the number to get on board if you want to talk. And I got, about 8 minutes? About 8 minutes. Again, I didn't say it like say it. I said it as an example of what I might want to say. I wasn't actually saying it. Um 513-717-5464 is the number to get on board. But I am getting ready to get out of here. I would not be going until 6. I got a little baby upstairs, just sitting. Knowing her, she's sitting in the kitchen. That's where I think she is. Sitting in the kitchen, watching YouTube, wanting so bad to play with kinetic sand. And I know what she want to do. She want to convince me to build a castle. And then I built this nice kinetic sand castle so that she can just tear it down and laugh the whole time. Kiki, 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 kiki. Kiki, 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 kiki. Like, it ain't funny. Why you tearing my stuff up? You sure know how to gain an enemy. Who, me? Me? Nobody would be my enemy because I would say, one of the potential responses for something without actually saying it to that person. No reasonable person would do that. She a bully. She is a bully. She is a bully. But I don't mind. She like to tear my little castles down. She gets such joy out of it. She gets such joy out of it. And I know so I put like a little bit of work into it to make it pristine. And she wait until it's done. Well, sometimes she don't. Sometimes she just start tearing it up and she won't let me build it. But, so what was the consensus? Could you date someone like completely on the opposite political spectrum as you? Did we come to the conclusion, yes, I will date the Trump supporter and the devil worshiper? Is that the conclusion that we came to? Where she learned that behavior? Probably her daddy. Probably for her daddy. Her daddy's an MMA fighter. And so he takes her to the gym with her brother and her sister, and they, he puts them in competitions and all of that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, they just had a few competitions where it was just kids as far as the eye can see, just beating each other down. They box, they kickbox, they wrestle, they do something that I can't pronounce, Tai Joy or whatever that nonsense is. They do nonsense. It ain't nonsense, but I'm just saying. So yeah, he's got her aggressive. She didn't learn that from me. If she was learning from me, she would be, really sensitive and caring, nurturing. So she didn't learn it from me. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I don't have anything else. I do, but I don't really have time to get into anything. I find myself in the horrible position of rooting for the Lakers. In the horrible position of rooting for the Lakers. Just because I don't like Memphis. I don't like the Grizzlies. I don't like Dylan Brooks. I don't like Ja Morant. I don't like them. I like confidence and all that kind of stuff. But when he was asked about the challenges in the West, and he was like, I'm cool in the West, basically saying ain't no competition in the West. Talking about them being a dynasty and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, I think I was with most other people who were like, y'all ain't accomplished nothing to be a dynasty. You got to win something before you become a dynasty. So, hopefully this will humble them a little bit. Don't take their confidence, but humble them a little bit. And, then I can cheer for them. But they're not humble at all. They ain't won nothing. So I find myself having to root for the Lakers. I am not down with the gorilla. I am not down with the gorilla. I can only root for them to beat Memphis, hopefully so that they will lose to the Warriors. Hopefully they will lose to the Warriors. So that's the beat Memphis so that they go out in the first round. I want them out of there in the first round. Like, we didn't even get a chance to try to avenge our loss to the Warriors. Like, we out. You're like, man, we really need to work. We should really stop talking S and put in the work. That's what I want for them. Then for the Lakers, I want them to get swept in the second round. That's what I would love to see. That's what I would love to see. I didn't see the entire Tank Davis fight. I saw highlights. I was out at a party on Saturday, all cold. But I was out at a party on Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to see the fight. And then I saw highlights. But I had a feeling that, oh my God, Lady K, are you okay? I'm sorry, I just looked up and a whole book popped up. Dante, what did you do? Oh my God. Daryl says that Warriors versus Lakers series is gonna be good. If the Warriors can pull it out, which I'm not 100% convinced that they will. They don't have home field advantage. If they had home field advantage, I would believe that the Warriors can pull it out. I would be confident. Without them having home court advantage, I'm not 100% confident. I'm not 100% confident. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, y'all. Althea. Yeah, check out why everybody. Now was the perfect time. Now was the perfect time to go check out why. Oh, last thing. This is super unimportant. But if you can't hear the similarities between Let's Get It On and what's the Ed Sheeran song? Thinking Out Loud. You don't know nothing about music. Stop talking about it. Just enjoy music. But you don't know music. Like, I don't know music. But I know more than somebody who can't even hear the similarities between those two. Let me tell you one of the things that we do. This is a simple way to hear the similarities. I'm in a few bands. I could say to the guys in the band, play Let's Get It On. And they start playing. Well, I've been really trying. And then just start singing Ed Sheeran's song. And they tell them, don't change it. Keep playing. Let's Get It On. It's the same freaking song. Up until, he does the little change in there. It's the same freaking song. The band doesn't change anything. Play all of the same ad-libs, the same notes, the same changes, everything up till that part. It's the same song. And we do what we call a mashup. So we'll start singing one song. The band just plays that song and keeps playing that song, and then you start singing the other song. Just like I finally heard Tennessee Whiskey. The kind of, I'm calling it the blues version. It's not a blues version. But the not the country version of Tennessee Whiskey. And I'd Rather Go Blind. It's the same song. I don't hear this because you don't know nothing about music. You are just, your plot in life is just to enjoy music. Definitely not to analyze it. If you can't hear the similarity, and I'm not even saying they're the exact same. I'm not even saying they're the exact same. But they're similar enough to where you can sing one on top of the other and nobody in the audience notices it. So yes, some people, you just enjoy music. Other people, you can analyze. Now then you got those people who know music. They can tell you the similarities and the differences and why they're not the exact same. I'm not that person. I don't have a music degree or any of that kind of stuff. Are there videos of you singing online? There probably are. If you look up The Color of Rhythm, you'll probably find some videos of me singing. Althea says, I check out Emanuel time to time. He pee me off most of the time. What? Me? What would I do to make anybody mad? Like, look, if you said, I just don't like Emanuel. I don't even know why. It's just something about him I don't like. I could go with that. But if you like, no, I don't have any freaks, but he makes me mad. What could I possibly have done to make you mad? To pee you off? I'm the most kind, thoughtful, caring kind of talk show host out here. I couldn't imagine. Tell people to stop crying like a little bit. I didn't tell nobody that. I said I might want to say that, but I'm not saying it to that person. That was me being thoughtful. That was me being thoughtful. I didn't say it to them. I did not say it to them. I just said that I wanted to say it. Totally different. Totally different. All right, y'all. I got to get ready. I got to get out of here. Yeah, because I hear some banging now. She building something. I don't know what the heck she's building. She's building something. That's what got you in Facebook probation. But hold on, for context, for the Facebook probation, for context, that was all in good fun. Lincoln was talking about how, y'all don't understand. Then you talking, and then you talking for 1 hour, and then you talking for 2 hours, and then you talking for 3 hours, and then you talking for 4 hours, and then you don't understand. That'll wear you out. And I'm like, oh my goodness. They pay you over $200,000 a year to talk for 3 hours a day. Yeah, but you don't understand how hard it is. And you don't get how hard it is. So, yeah, stop crying like a little biatch. And you make over $200,000 a year to stay at home and talk. You don't understand how hard it is. So, yeah, he earned that one. He earned that. So that's all. That was it. That's all it was. It was all in good fun. It was all in good fun. And if I would have been there face to face with him, I would have said the exact same thing to his face. That might be why he don't like me. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've caught him now. All right, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing day. Hope something amazing and life-changing happens to you, all right? Let me go upstairs and deconstruct whatever she's up there building. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm the king of talk. And until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.